Hello and welcome to day 7. Yes, day 7 of Vlogmas. As you can see, I'm back home again after my travels with Sophie. So yeah, had a lovely weekend. Apologies, the videos over the weekend were quite short, but I knew I wouldn't get a chance to do a lot of filming. So it's just a few little snippets of what we got up to. I drove up there Friday evening after getting my hair cut, and took me 3 hours to do what should be a 2-hour journey. What I hadn't factored in my choice of route was flooding on the road, and the fact that traffic had to go down to one lane to avoid the flood, and I was sat in an hour's queue. But never mind, I got there eventually. And Friday evening we decorated her tree. It's looking very Christmassy in her flat now. And then I waited a long time for some food. We ordered a takeaway and it took a long time to arrive, so we didn't eat till quite late. But we did, because it was late, we didn't eat much of it, so we did then have it for leftovers the next day, so all good. And then yes, Saturday went and met Emily and Julie in Bath. Had a lovely wander around the market. Well, it was very busy. I don't know why that should surprise me. Christmas markets are always busy, and I think the one in Bath is one of the most popular. So yeah, it did get really busy. So we didn't actually get to see many or look at much of the stuff on the stalls because it was so packed you couldn't really get close. Although Sophie did buy one present for one of our family, and we got some ideas about some other things as well. So yeah, it was a worthwhile trip. And we had some lovely lunch in a little vegan cafe. Excuse me, having a slurp of tea. Which, yeah, was really tasty. It was nice to have a sit down away from all the crowds and just chill for a little bit. Then we did a little bit more shopping, stopped later for a coffee and a piece of cake, and then said goodbye to Emily and Julie because they were getting a train back to Bristol, because they were staying in a hotel in Bristol overnight. And I think their intention was to go and see the second Wicked film, but I don't think they made it because we were all pretty tired by that stage. Sophie and I just chilled. I think we played some games on the TV because on Netflix they're doing sort of a Lego party game that you can scan a QR code on your phone and use your phone as controllers, and you can play together. So that was fun. We did that for a little while. Watched a Christmas movie, had some food, and then went to bed because it had been a long day. And Sophie, bless her, has hurt her foot as well, so she was needing to rest up as much as possible. So yes, that was my weekend. Had a lazy start to the morning this morning. Drove home, got home about 3 o'clock-ish, and this is me with a cup of tea now. So I will just quickly tell you what I'm wearing, but you have seen this before. It's the Pogonip jumper by Friday Pattern Company. I think it's Friday Pattern Company. And it's this gorgeous fuchsia pink. It's one of the kind of, what they call it, ribbed jerseys or jacquard jerseys. And I can't remember where I got this from. It may have been First for Fabrics, or it may have been Higgs and Higgs, something like that. I can't remember. Several places sell it, but I think it was First for Fabrics. But this gorgeous fuchsia pink is really just is my colour. I think it suits me really well. So yes, I love it. And it's the leftover bits of this that I used for my Drew jumper that I was wearing the other day. So I'm going to do a bumper catch-up now of, well, it's not a bumper catch-up, it's only 2 days because I did Fridays, but 2 days worth of advent calendars. And I've been watching other people's Vlogmases and really trying not to get any spoilers for what's in the advent calendars. So we're starting off with Becky's Sewing Studio, and I've got days 6 and 7 to find. So there's rustling will ensue, so bear with, as I have still not been through and organised these, so I don't know where any of them are. That's a 9, not a 6. Right, there's 7. So we'll take that one out. Come on, number 6. Where are you? Aha, here we go. Number 6. So let's start with this one to show you. Number 6. Let's see what this is. Feels like a pair of scissors. Oops. It is indeed a pair of scissors. They're pretty, aren't they? Look, little pink flowery scissors. And they're little sort of curved snips. So I'm guessing, it's a bit sticky on there. Can you see how the blades are curved? I'm guessing you can get like up close to the fabric without actually cutting it with the curve. So yeah, they'll be very handy for snipping off my ends of threads, because if you've seen any of my videos of me sewing, I tend to snip my threads with my big fabric scissors just because they're handy. But if I keep these little snips handy, that would be good for doing my threads. So that's lovely. So that was day 6. Day 7, which is today's one. Let's see. There's a couple of things in here, I think. No idea what that is. Let's open it and have a look. Oh, it's not a couple of things. It's one pack of something. And it's some little wooden sort of laser cut labels that say made by me on all of them in different shapes. So that would be really handy for popping onto bags mostly, I would think. I don't think I'd want to put one of those in an item of clothing because they're fairly thick. But on a bag, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? Or maybe on the outside of a jumper, you could put one as like a little tag on the outside, couldn't you? Or as like a little button detail. That's interesting. Thank you very much. So that's Becky's Sewing Studio up to date. I do like this bag. This bag is going to come in very handy for storing things in. So then, because yesterday was an even day, day 6, it was an Adam Sews Advent Calendar day. So let's have a look at what that was for yesterday. So here we are, number 6. Let's have a look. Ah. That's pretty. Look, we've got some Specky Seamstress bias binding, and it's a special, I guess it's done in collaboration. It's a special one that Adam has had commissioned for the Advent calendar. I'm tired, can you tell? Words are a struggle at the moment. So yes, that is lovely, and there's a bit of a theme developing, isn't there, with the pink stars? I'm guessing there may be more along the same theme coming, but that's brilliant, isn't it? So I'm guessing if you were making something like one of Adam's caddies, you could use all these in conjunction and they would all tie in together and match nicely. So that's lovely. I never have much bias binding on hand, and I do toy with getting a Specky Seamstress bias binding subscription, but I'm not sure when I'd use it, but this will be a good way of finding out, won't it? That's lovely, thank you. So that's all my purchased Advent calendars up to date. Obviously there'll be another one of Adam's tomorrow because we're back onto even days tomorrow. Let's pop this down here. Excuse me a moment. So all I have left is my reverse advent calendar. Which is here, filling up nicely. And if anybody missed my day one Vlogmas and are wondering what on earth I'm talking about when I say my reverse advent calendar, it's something that we're doing at my church because we run a cafe every Friday morning, and in conjunction with that a community larder, and they've asked us all to fill a box this year of things that can be used in the can be put in the community larder, and by putting in one item per day, it's a reverse advent calendar. So instead of opening up something, you're depositing something every day. So I've got 2 days to catch up on with this as well. First thing is something that I'm hoping will be nice and hearty and warming for somebody, and that's some Irish stew. Irish style stew. I don't think they can technically call it Irish stew, but it's Irish style stew. So I was going to get some soup, but then as Sophie pointed out, soup can be a bit nothingy sometimes, whereas a tin of stew is often a better meal for someone. And then I've also, they want some cereal as well. So for day 7, I've gone for some Quaker porridge oats, the original one, and it's the sachets that you literally just add water. I think you can do it with milk, or you can just add water. So it's nice and easy, good and hearty and warming. Some Quaker porridge oats. So that's days 6 and 7 on my reverse advent calendar. I'm definitely going to need a bigger box, I think. But that's not a problem. We'll find a bigger box. So that's it for advent calendars. What else have I got to tell you? I managed to finish making the plan I had in mind is that because the 4 of us were going to be in Bath for the weekend, so me and Sophie, Emily and Julie, I was going to make us all matching pyjamas. I didn't quite get round to that. I ran out of time, as is often the case. But I did manage to get Emily and Julie's made up. And if they're happy with me popping a picture in, I'll put a picture in later. But if not, it's this fabric behind me here I used for the trousers. And I used the Peppermint Magazine loungewear trousers. And then for the top, it's just some plain black viscose jersey, which I just made a closet core t-shirt for both of them. I am going to go on and make exactly the same for me and Sophie. So we will all have matching pyjamas, and then we will take pictures of ourselves when we're together next and send them to Emily and Julie so that we can all see what we look like in our PJs. Yeah, so that was just a nice little thing for them to remember the weekend. So I've got those. I've got mine and Sophie's pyjamas to go on and make. I've then got some presents to make for some people, which shouldn't take me too long, I'm hoping. I'm not going to have... Now, I should be all right for most of this week in terms of actual sewing time. Gosh, that light has suddenly gone very bright, hasn't it? Let's move that around a bit. Yeah, I should be all right for sewing time up until Friday. Friday I won't get time for anything because it's our big cathedral concert on Friday. So that's kind of the big thing of this week. I'll maybe take you along and get a few little snippets, but I won't be able to do a lot of filming because I'm going to be on duty. I will be section lead probably for my section of the choir, which means that I'm going to need to be on it. So I don't expect I'll get much filming done myself. There will be someone filming the whole event, so hopefully I will be able to show you some clips afterwards. They usually come through fairly quickly, so I should be able to upload some straight afterwards. And if anybody has been paying attention to the intros of all my Vlogmas videos, you'll notice that each one has a different snippet of some choral singing at the beginning of Christmas songs, and that is my choir singing from various different years worth of concerts in the cathedral, because this is actually our 10th year of doing it. It's also our 10th concert because our first one was in 2015, so in theory this should be our 11th one this year, but 2020, we won't say more than that, but we fully intended to do one that year, just wasn't to be. So it's 10 years and 10 concerts this Friday, which is quite an achievement. So yeah, that's going to be my big focus for this week. I'm hoping then that after that, other than our social event the following Friday, I don't have any more choir activities going on, so I should be able to get a fair bit of sewing done. I've also got 2 Christmas parties because I work in 2 offices, as you know, so each of those have a Christmas party. So it's going to be a busy social week that last week before Christmas. So again, I'm not sure how much sewing I'll get done then. I have grand plans to make a lot of things. I don't know how much of it will get done, but we'll see how it goes. First thing I'm going to do is finish off the pyjamas. Then I'm going to make the few little gifts I want to make. Then I might make my Christmas jumper, because it'd be nice to have that made up before Christmas, wouldn't it? And then if there's time, the last thing I'll make probably is my red velvet Christmas outfit. A few people have suggested a 2-piece would be more practical, and I think you're probably right. I don't know how often I'll wear a red velvet jumpsuit. So I'm thinking, somebody suggested the pearl cardigan by Tilly and the Buttons, which is a crossover sort of ballet style cardigan. And I do have that pattern because I've made it a couple of times before. And I'm thinking I might do what Becky from What Beck Sews accidentally did and stitch it down so that it's a top rather than a cardigan, because velvet's not very thick, so it's not really cardigan fabric, but as a crossover top, I think that might work. So we'll see. And then I could do some Pietra trousers, I think, probably. So I do like how those are flat at the front and then gathered around the back. That's a plan. It may not come to fruition. I'm not going to be too sad if I don't manage to get it done. It's, you know, it's a nice to have, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It'll have to wait till next Christmas. But yeah, so that's plans for this week. I'm not sure. I might do a bit of sewing tonight. Might get cracking on the next pair of PJs. But yeah, other than that, I will speak to you in the week. Hopefully every day this week. I'm not sure what time I will get Friday's vlog uploaded, because obviously I'll be at the concert until we normally finish about 10 o'clock-ish. And then I'll have to get home and then edit and upload. So it may happen Friday night, it may not be till Saturday. I can't promise. But yes, hopefully a vlog every day at least, and I will catch up with you then. Hope you're all well, enjoying some sewing, and I'll speak to you soon.